Hello everyone, today we have Jaffrey Joy who secured an All India rank of 118 and congratulations Jaffrey. So we will be learning about his journey through his own words. So my first question, what motivated you to start preparing for GATE?
Yeah, so it's a long story. I'll try to keep it short. So in 2019, I got placed in a company. It was related to a data analytics thing. And so my work was mostly related to databases. So while working over there, I developed an interest for databases. So I used to look up on the internet mostly about databases and lectures on it. So I came across a lecture from Professor Andy Pavlov. He's from Carnegie Mellon University. And the way he taught about databases, I mean, during my college days, I had never even thought that they would teach in such depth. So it's like database has its own concept of pages and all. So I was always a curious guy and wanted to know how things work under the hood. So that gave me a perspective about how actually in depth people learn about stuff. So I developed a curiosity about learning these things. So I looked up on the internet how to gain more knowledge, and I wanted a structured learning approach to get into basically the systems area. So when I looked up on the internet, the most viable choice for me was a master's. So I looked up what would be the best place to go, especially in the area of systems. So there were two people who are very famous for database research in India. So one was Professor Jayan from IC and another was Professor Sudarshan from IIT Bombay. So then I looked up how could you get into such universities to work with such people. So then GATE was the only option for graduates. So then I started looking up. I didn't have much idea about GATE during my graduate studies. So this was the first time I actually got to know the actual meaning of and the opportunities that GATE provides. So then after that, then I started looking up like how is the preparation for GATE. Then I looked up for classes and such. That's how I got to know about GATE and my interest to give GATE developed.
Okay, so how you came to know about VisionGATE?
Yeah, so as I said, so as I was looking for how to prepare for GATE, then I knew that since like I don't think I'm disciplined enough to do such a competitive exam by myself because of my experience with JEE. And so I started looking for the best classes, especially in Mumbai, and for an offline class. I was more, I would opt for an offline class. But as COVID struck, there was no option for an offline class. And I read reviews on Quora about VisionGATE. Like I saw how the students, like they naturally appreciated how RSPs are taught and the environment that we got with other students. So I saw other reviews too, but then their reviews were natural and genuine. So then I contacted the institute for an admission in I think around May 2019. I was working there at that time too.
Okay, so exactly when and how did you start to prepare?
So during May 2019 only, sorry, I think May 2020, May 2020, I started my actual preparation by joining VisionGATE. And my job was going on, so I thought I should resign. So I talked with sir, and then he also suggested that a full-fledged preparation would be better. So then I put in my resignation in May, and so I had a two-month notice period. So those 2 months were also not so great because I had to manage work, and due to COVID, actually the work increased in my company. So I was not able to cope up much during those 2 months. So in July, my notice period got over. Then after that, things got a bit better. But then actually, since I didn't join in the beginning of the class, so like the portion was almost done for one subject. So it was a bit overwhelming when the classes were going on that others are able to get it, I'm not able to get it, and but still I kept on doing whatever I could.
Okay, so you prepared for 1 year and then you gave your GATE.
Yeah, so actually, as I said, it was a bit overwhelming because there were students like Jaideep and Ashutosh who were like top 50. Jaideep was there at one. So, like their discussions and the way they answered, like it was like, will I be able to do this? Is this my cup of tea? I had a lot of doubts in my mind at that point of time. So, I started losing hope, and I made a huge mistake that I did not actually talk to sir about this. I did not convey how I felt. So please do not make this mistake. Whenever you feel like you are going through such a situation, please talk to someone. Please talk to if you have friends, talk to them. Or the best option would be to talk to your professor about it, and so that he will guide you.
Okay, so after having all this experience for your first attempt?
Yeah, my first attempt was not that. So my rank was around 7,000, I think, at that time. So then I knew I like my dream was to go to IISc, so I don't that was not at all possible with that rank. So I talked to sir, and he suggested me to repeat for another year. So yeah, I actually even last year I had stopped attending classes in around October because I had like lost all hope. I tried to do something on my own, scramble something. Yeah. So then in March, the second week of March, I rejoined VisionGATE, and then it was better from there.
Okay, so any challenges you faced during your second attempt preparing for things?
Yeah, so after a month, so like mid-April, so it was going good. I was keeping up with what sir was teaching, and this time I could understand way better because I instead of thinking that okay, I like thinking of people how they are getting, I started focusing on myself and what I am getting. Like what am I able to do, so I'll just do that. I will not look at others. So it was going good till mid-April. Then I got affected with COVID, and so like around a month I was struggling with it, and so I got lagged behind because of that. So that was a bit depressing, but I caught up with time, and there was some portion of the subject which I did in the next iteration. So in VisionGATE there are multiple iterations of the same subject, like at least twice or thrice in 1 year. So I caught up in the next iteration, the same subject.
Okay, so after this test season, it begins in August or September. So what do you think, what was the significance of test series in your case?
Yeah, so that's an important point. So in my previous attempt, I was so scared and depressed that I never gave a test. I didn't give a single test in the previous year. So I don't know why, and like the main reason was fear, I think, because I knew I won't perform well. So the thing is, even if you do think like that, the thing is, you will always perform better than you think if you think so. Like if you think that nahi hone wala main se kuch bhi, you will always perform better. So don't let that fear not let you give tests. So and try to give tests as early as possible, so you get an idea of where you are lacking. So that please don't be afraid of giving tests.
Okay, so you really love databases, and that's how all this journey begins.
Yeah.
So now you have ended your journey, and how do you feel? Like what kind of impact has GATE as an exam brought on your life?
Yeah, so actually it was a really fun journey. Not just because I have to give an exam, I have to get it to institute, but like the learning aspect of it was totally different. I mean, the way you learn in colleges, and especially Mumbai University College, it's not, like everybody knows it's not that good. And over here you are given a totally new perspective about how to look at subjects, how deeply you understand the concepts, and how people in in good universities, how they learn stuff. So it gives a perspective on it.
Okay, so any advice to future and current aspirants?
My advice is that don't get intimidated by your peer group and have faith in yourself and don't be afraid to give tests. Give tests as soon as possible, just so that you can know where you are lacking. Don't judge yourself based on those tests. Okay, if you are getting low marks or anything, it will always there's always room for improvement, and you will improve.
Okay, so that was really cool talking to you and knowing about your journey. Thank you very much for spending time with us.
Yeah, I would like to add about Professor Avi sir. I want to thank him a lot because I mean the way he taught me, I don't think any other professor could have taught me. Especially the way he taught probability and combinatorics. The way he taught it is like I never saw probability or combinatorics in the way he taught it before. So that was really fascinating for me.
That was really nice to hear as well. So I wish you all the best for your future journey. And
Thank you.
I think that's it. Thank you very much.